Welcome into the pre-show here. McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That is Tyler.
What it is, sir?
It's a busy Thursday is what it is. A very busy Thursday.
You're in here setting your Mac on fire over there typing when I walked in.
Yeah, I'm trying to we had in my day job, I cover Ole Miss for Rivals. It's the dichotomy of my life. Everywhere else around the country, everyone goes, "Oh, you're an Ole Miss guy." You can't be considered. You can't be considered for other positions doing anything else because, well, you're an Ole Miss guy. And then in Oxford, it's like you hate Ole Miss.
You're a man with no home.
And it's he's truly.
Yes. You're Tom Hanks in The Terminal.
Yeah, I'm yeah. I've never seen that, but I'll take your word
What?
for it. I'm back. Oh, you want
Neal?
If you ever want to find my weak spot, it's pop culture.
You've never watched the movie Terminal with Tom Hanks?
No. Never heard of the movie Terminal with Tom Hanks.
Are you serious?
Never heard
I
of
swear you would like it. I figured that would be right up your alley. So he comes in. He plays a foreign national from I don't even know what country it was, but he flew into New York and he wanted to go visit. And he's by himself. And while he was in flight, they had like a civil war in his country, and the United States no longer recognized their country. So he was a man without a country. They wouldn't stamp his passport, but he couldn't leave either because he couldn't fly home. So he lived in the terminal for months and made friends. It's good.
Okay.
Spoiler alert: if you haven't watched The Terminal, sorry, I probably should have said that ahead of time. It's a really good movie. I wouldn't say one of my favorites, but I will watch it every time it comes on.
Okay.
You would like it.
Never heard of it.
It's not that old. Catherine Zeta-Jones is the love interest.
Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic just jumped center in this Olympic semifinal game between the U.S. and Serbia.
I have watched zero. This is the longest I've watched. 13 seconds of Olympic basketball. You just got me.
I watched Canada. I was cheering for Canada.
They don't show it. I watched it at nighttime. They don't show it.
Yeah, I haven't. I have not because of any reason or boycott or any of that stuff. I've heard people upset about things. I just haven't. I've not had an opportunity to watch the Olympics really, and then at night I just end up doing other things.
Yeah,
I had two or three nights where I haven't even turned the TV on. Just do other things.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I'm always going to try. It is for me because I watch TV to fall asleep. So that's kind of I can't do the dirt room.
I do not, Andre, watch reruns of Gunsmoke.
Andre's always got some off the wall
questions. I remember when Gunsmoke was out though. I was a little kid. It was not my show. It was not my favorite show.
Andre's a big fan of turkey meatloaf.
Is that right? Yeah, Laura has made turkey meatloaf before. It was not my jam. She'll make really good turkey.
She can cook.
She makes really good turkey meatballs.
Okay.
Like I think there's certain things you can do with turkey, but the whole
meatloaf
of turkey thing, it was not good.
Okay, I'm with you. Let's crank her up, dog. Let's get rolling. Let's have some fun today. Anybody opposed to having fun today? Let's have fun today.
I need to pull up the reader new thing. Hold on. I've got multiple files going on right now. So this is.
I do too. We got a new reader today. I'm fired up. Gonna get my McCready skills going.
All right, hold on. Let me find it. It's been a day. It's been a week.
Been a week.
This is always August is the busiest week of the year for what I do.
Month of the year.
What's it? Week? I meant month. Yeah.
There you go. That explains it.
It's a busy month because you're writing a lot, but you don't have games yet.
Yes.
So you're not into a routine at all. And so you're just writing, but there is no game to reference. There's no game to point towards. It's just
to write about stretching.
What's today? Today's the 8th. I mean, they don't play for 23 days, the team that I cover. So you're not really writing about a particular game yet.
It's almost over, man. You got like 14 days of it left.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's fine.
It's almost over.
Just yeah. And Thursday's a 4 podcast day. And then you mix in, hey, go to practice and it just gets kind of busy.
There you go. Let's do it.
Welcome into episode 194 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on Thursday afternoon, August the 8th. Hope everyone's having a good day, a good week. We'll be with you for a little bit, about an hour or so here on this Thursday. We're brought to you, as we always are, by Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, Zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, I'm rolling with the Harvest Grape today. Why am I rolling with the Harvest Grape today? Because it's the only one that I had cold in the refrigerator. I thought I was feeling orangey today. I was feeling like I was going to get the Valencia orange, and I realized that I drank my last one of the Valencia orange. So I'm going with that. But Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping. Guys, you can go see our guys at Cooper. You can get the brand new 2024 Chevy Trailblazers that are starting at $27,000. You can also finance it with Cooper Chevrolet for 1.9% APR, which is a steal in today's world and economy, and also no payments for 90 days. Contact our guys, our friends at Cooper Chevrolet at area code 256-236-4481. And Neal, as we announced last week, our new sponsor on the show, PTG Outdoors. Neal, if I sent you the link. Oh, you did? Thank you very much. There. So PTG Outdoors is a Camus boats dealer. They have freshwater and saltwater boats. So it doesn't matter if you're on the coast or the lakes. They sell service Mercury outboards, and they do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Lawrence products. We carry all kinds of fishing products with more to come soon. We also custom golf cart retrofits, and we replace all lithium batteries, with a single lithium battery. So I'll check them out at ptgoutdoors.com, located in Grenada and Northport. All right, so one more thing about PTG Outdoors. My man Brandon's awesome. The store's in Grenada. The store is in Northport. Neal put in the chat, put the link for PTG Outdoors. They have an online store, so you don't have to go to the store. You can literally hit that link that Neal put in the chat, or if you're listening on your pod, go to ptgoutdoors.com. Get all of your fishing stuff. And everybody's going fishing. If you're going hunting, they do the ATVs. Get on there, help them out. They do a great job, and it's going to be the official outdoor store of McCready and Siskey.
GJG, you don't have to go to Google. I literally put it 2 things above you in the chat. There's it's not G.
2 comments in front of you.
Yep.
PTG.
You can lead a horse to water.
Yes. That's how I feel sometimes. And it's usually, but hey, it is what it is. All right, Neal, we'll get this thing started. So we're going to be tight and efficient today. Got back and I apologize. It's on me. I had a crazy schedule, crazier than I anticipated. Once I got to Nashville for the personnel symposium. It has become, Neal, it's a big deal. Like they had done it a few years while I was coaching right before the pandemic hit. And then after the pandemic, when I was in my business, they started it back up. And I think the first year, Neal, we probably had, there's probably 100 people there in recruiting. Last year, there was about 300. Mm-hmm. This year, there was about 700. I mean, it seemed like every single school was there. It's become the premier event and as the recruiting staffs and off the field staffs have grown and grown and grown, it's becoming the premier gathering place. They've done a great job with it. Candace Rosenkrantz, first ballot Hall of Famer, on campus recruiting coordinator that I had at Alabama. She helps organize it. She's with CAA out of Nashville. Ed Manowitz with CAA out of Nashville. They do it. Pat Suddas, Andy Frank at Penn State, Pat Suddas at North Carolina. They help organize it, and Jordan Sorrells at Clemson. They do a phenomenal job organizing this and putting this on, and you get a chance to visit with people in the business. But a lot of talking and all kinds of topics discussed, from pretty much everything in the recruiting world, from roster sizes to revenue sharing, things like that. But you know what? One term I heard that I did not hear the entire time I was there.
What was that?
The word tampering. Nobody brought it up.
Yeah, I think it's just
heard every topic, Neal.
I think that's sort of like speeding. It's just sort of understood.
It's just hilarious to me because you have heard it in the past, right? Everybody coming there mad and all that stuff. Hey, this year there seemed to be a climate change. No, not one. I did not hear the word one time. Anything else that had to do with players, didn't hear the word tampering or the subject tampering one time.
I think speeding is actually a good analogy. It's everyone knows that everyone goes above the speed limit.
Yep.
You don't really notice unless someone's going like 50 over. I mean, if someone's like being reckless, you notice it. You're like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? You know, that kind of thing. I think it's like that in tampering. Everyone's tampering.
Everybody.
There's a certain degree of egregiousness that sometimes happens with tampering. And when that happens, it becomes kind of public.
Yep.
But if it's just done the traditional tampering way, I don't think anybody really gets all that worked up anymore. Everybody sort of understands it's just part of the process.
Just part of it now. This was one thing that did come up, and it came up a lot. And I'd heard it before, but it just wasn't as widespread. Now it seems to be almost the norm. We're talking about when you bring kids in on visits, right? So there's a lot of organization that goes on, hey, we're going to go to academics. We're going to do this and this, a typical visit.
Yeah.
And goes, you know what? He goes, that's not even what it's about anymore. He goes, this is what's happened this past year, and it's gotten
all
out of control.
The foreplay's gone, baby.
You know where this is going.
Right to the act.
He goes, and especially the guy that I was talking to is an SEC guy. Okay, so recruiting elite athletes, they're doing very well. But he said kids and families don't even care about the extras, on the visit anymore. They don't care about going to academics, getting the campus tour or whatever you're going to do with them. It's literally when they will literally take that itinerary and go, oh, this is cool and all, but I need to talk to the coach, and we just need to talk to the coach and need to talk to whoever your NIL collective guy is.
Yep.
And then we're going to leave.
It's transactional.
And it's in and out. And he said, at first the portal was like that, obviously, but now how we always talk about the portal being very transactional, now high school is taking over that more and more.
This is where I do this all the time. I'll do it again. I'm wrong. You hear sometimes men won't say they're wrong. I'm wrong.
We were wrong for a little bit until
no, I mean, I look at this. I'll be honest. I look at this and I'd be like, I wouldn't, as I'm not I don't have a college sports fandom. I don't have a college home.
Right.
That's very
Me
clear.
neither. That's what makes our show great.
It probably is. So I can look at it differently. If I allow myself to be like, okay, the teams that I care about, the Thunder, the Cubs, mostly the Thunder here lately.
Hey, I went to, before we get going, I know we're off subject. I know you've given up on the Cubs, but you do have a Cubs shirt on today.
I do. It's one of my favorite running shirts.
It has nothing to do with the Cubs, just because it's comfortable.
It's one of my favorite running shirts. I like the way it feels when I run.
Feels nice across your chest.
Well, when you get super sweaty, it doesn't. This one doesn't stick the way some do. That's what it is.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get
no,
you.
It's okay.
Get you
the point is, if the NBA, if the Thunder, if the NBA rules were what the college football rules were, college athletics rules, I'd check out. I'd be like, okay, I can't even keep up with who's on my team.
Yeah,
I don't even know who's on the team. Like literally, I've covered Ole Miss for a long time. I have a roster there, and sometimes I'll look at the roster and go, who the hell's that? 5 years ago, I knew the roster. Like I didn't need a roster in about the second week of camp.
I was a little bit.
Now I still need a roster. I'm looking at it and go, who's he? Oh, wait, where he's from? I remember that one. I can't. There was one dude. There was one dude. Seriously, no doubt, no joke. The other day, and I knew it, but at the time, it happened so fast in my head. It was the kid that's a running back at Arizona now.
Yeah,
he's on some watch list. By the way, if you didn't make a watch list, sorry, but I saw it and I went, "Oh, that kid's at Ole Miss." And then I went, "Oh no, I remember now." But for a minute, he was like committed to Ole Miss until like for some reason his deal didn't. I don't know. Fell through and he ended up. I don't know. I think it was academics. I don't know. Whatever. But he ends up at Arizona.
Yeah.
And he's on the watch list. But I'm like, how do you even keep up? And then today, like Charlie Weiss said a name today, and I was like, wait, who?
Well, he was talking about like key players. You're like going down the roster.
Yeah, he mentioned somebody. I was like, oh yeah.
I forgot about him.
I mean, keeping up is it's impossible. My point is, I'm wrong. I thought this would be like the kind of thing that would take on a scale of 1 to 10 fan, like this 4s to 7s.
Yeah.
And start canceling them. I thought they'd be like, this is stupid. I don't like this. No, it's too big for that. It's too powerful. What I have learned is that for people, their fandom / alma mater or whatever stuff is so strong that it overcomes any of this. So I'm wrong. I thought this would be negative. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It literally doesn't matter. Whether the fans know the players or not is absolutely immaterial. I've decided. I mean, for some it kind of matters, but not really.
All right, I got an update. I was you got every school there and all that stuff. And so I was able to do a little question and answer little session and without naming names who I was talking to, but so got an update because we have a lot of Auburn fans that listen. We have a lot of Ole Miss fans that listen, and our man Andre actually has a Notre Dame podcast. So I said, you know what, this would be a great topic for all three. Deuce Knight, the quarterback at George County.
Yes.
So
committed to Notre Dame.
He's committed to Notre Dame, been committed a long time.
Auburn and Ole Miss are both trying to flip him.
He is. It doesn't matter what site you use. He's a top 5, 6, 7 quarterback in the country. Extremely talented, a lot of upside, got some development to do, but the huge ceiling, okay, through the roof ceiling kind of guy. So this is kind of where it sits here, and this is kind of what recruiting has come down to. I feel very confident saying that he has been shopped around to the point of creating a bidding war, and I feel very confident saying Notre Dame is out.
Yeah, I think he's going to Auburn.
Auburn, I would say if its signing day was today, I would say that. But there's a long time. I think it's going to be. I don't think Ole Miss has given up. I don't think Ole Miss is going to give up. I think it's going to turn into a bidding war from all taking information from both sides of the story. Actually, 3 sides of the story. But that's probably what it's going to come down to, and it just is what it is. I think he would go either place. I think it's going to come down to a bidding war on him, but he is a extremely high upside quarterback.
Can I be cynical for a minute?
Absolutely, I like when you're.
He's
cynical.
not going to play as a freshman.
No, he's got too much development.
So he's going to get in the portal. What difference does it make?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Right? There's going to be people around him that are going to say, "Well, you should be playing." And he's not going to play as a freshman. It's almost impossible for a true freshman to play. And I've seen him. I watched him at Oxford High School. And in doing one of the.
That was one of those Elite 11 things.
The Elite 11 thing, the quarterback thing.
Yeah.
And he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's.
You see it. He's got huge upside.
He was one of 2 kids on the field that stood out, and there were kids on that field that were committed to other SEC schools. There was a kid that committed to Arkansas that I remember. There was a kid committed to Oklahoma. And there were kids that were committed to good schools. It was him and the McIntyre kid were the 2 that really stood out. So I mean, he's a really good player, but he's probably not going to play someplace as a true freshman. And so keeping him around for a second year. Because whoever recruits him is going to recruit on top of him. They're going to recruit another one
every year.
Like Ole Miss, for example, is way up at the top on the kid from California, Lions.
Yeah.
They're in on him. So even if they were to sign Knight this year, they're going to try to sign Lions next year. So I don't know. To me, and I know I work for a recruiting site, and I should never do anything that downplays the drama of recruiting. But at the same time, if I'm a fan, I look at it and go, well, if we don't get him, we don't get him. We'll either get the next guy or we'll get him in the portal in a year.
Yeah. But that's where that was at. I found out the more of the story of that one, so I felt comfortable saying that. All right, I got to go here. You're going to like this. I think we're going to do a new segment. All right, so I can't say we're going so Wednesday, this is yesterday, Neal. Yesterday, an agent that football coaching agent, visited with him yesterday morning. He said, listens to the show, loves the show, Neal. Told me to tell you hello.
Oh, good.
He says, hey, love the stories. And he goes, you got all the coaches cracking up about the stories. He goes, when are you? I said, I know. I said, the good ones I can't tell. I said, the good ones I can't tell. He goes, I got an idea for you. So this is not my idea. I got to give the content idea to our good friend, our good agent, a good coaching agent. He says, you need to tell recruiting stories that happen with like assistant coach, like the good stuff.
Yeah.
Just say Coach X, don't mention the kid, but the story is still a story because fans don't realize the crazy stuff that happens in recruiting. And so I was like, you know what? That is a hell of an idea. I will do that. So I'm doing this. I can't take credit for this idea, this content idea. It comes from our good friend who is the coaching agent there in that you know.
Okay.
All right. Very popular one, by the way. All right. So here's the first story time. All right. Before I start this story time, because you don't know what I'm about to say.
I don't.
I have a feeling I've told you this as a personal friend, so help me not dox this, okay? I'm going to start this story, and you're going to know exactly where I'm going.
Okay.
I think I've told you this drinking before, me and you off microphone.
Okay.
All right, so I was at a school, Neal. This happened. I was at a school, and we were recruiting a national recruit defensive lineman. And we were recruiting him, 5-star guy. I mean, just really good player. And he had a dad that was off the chain. I'm talking about a few sandwiches shy of a full picnic. Okay. He was off the chain. All right. And really didn't know that when we started. We were kind of late in on him. We were not the first team in. There was another team that already kind of sunk their heels in and had a head start on us before we went full bore on him.
Okay.
And so naturally, when you're trying to get a player on a visit, I don't know if the fans know this or not, before they can come on an official visit, you have to get their transcript and test scores. Okay, that's required for you to have it for the paperwork for them to come on an official visit.
Okay.
No big deal. Well, we go into the school. I didn't. Another coach goes into the school to get the transcript and test scores. The school would not give it to us.
Oh, wow.
Okay, would not give us the transcript or test scores. This had never happened in the history. This is the only time I think this has ever happened. And so for the fans that don't know, a kid will sign basically a waiver that will allow you to give that to coaches that come in. There's a paperwork they sign, and he had signed it. The guidance counselor, the principal, the teacher, nobody. They would not give us. We couldn't find any human being in that school that would give us the transcript and test score. And no other school was able to get it. Only this one school that had their teeth sunk in with this school. And so we had the dad, okay? So we had won the dad over. The dad wanted him to come play for us.
Okay.
All right. Mom, we didn't have yet. And so the dad, being a few sandwiches shy of a full picnic, so we call the dad and we say, hey, look, we can't get – he wants him to come on a visit this weekend. He wants him to come here. And I'm like, we can't bring him in because we don't have the deal. They wouldn't give it to us. And he's pissed because they wouldn't release the transcript. He said, by gosh, I'll go up there and get it.
Okay.
Reminder, y'all remember, he's a few sandwiches shy of a full picnic. So he goes to the school to get the transcript and test score. They won't give it to him.
They won't give it to the kid's dad.
They won't give his own son his own transcript and test score.
School A had done a number.
Done a number.
They had covered their bases.
Gets better. So not only did they not get that, he starts getting crazy like he could do. He gets arrested.
Oh.
At the school. And
disturbing the peace?
Let's say he was detained. I don't know if they actually took him down to the Popo, but I know he got removed.
The police were involved.
Yes, the police were involved. He got removed from this small town place. He gets removed by the Popo from the school. So we used our connections, went very high in the political scheme of things, maybe or maybe not, all the way up to the governor's office, allegedly. And basically finally ended up, we had to go that high to get the transcript and test score. We bring them on visit, all that stuff. So then we go to do home visits. Okay. All right. So there's 4 coaches going to the home visit. Okay. 4 coaches and going to this neighborhood. And it's a normal, I would say like I call them like when you go into a neighborhood, it's like an older neighborhood, like built in the 60s and 70s and all that stuff.
Ranch-style homes.
Ranch-style home. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But they had like a chain-link fence in the front. And so they're driving down the street, and they pull up in their driveway. In the front yard of this house, our dad is on top of a horse in the middle of a neighborhood in his front yard. And I'm talking about, Neal, his front yard is like the size of this room right here. Like, smaller than your front yard, with a horse, and he's on this horse, and get out of the car, and coach like, what's up? And the dad's name, and he looks at him, he goes, what's our minute mark over there? We good? He goes,
yeah, we're good.
He goes, who's the motherfucker? I'm the motherfucker. Who's the motherfucker? I'm the motherfucker. And we're like looking at the guy going like, what is going on? And he stops. He's got this weird look in his eye. Neal pulls out his vest. He's got a gun, and he unloads the clip. Pow, 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 pow. And then the horse is like, bucking. Yeah. He's riding, and he unloads the clip in his front yard of just a normal neighborhood. That happened. Stories from the road.
Did you get the kid?
We did not get the kid.
Did he end up being good?
He ended up being really good.
NFL?
Yes. Still playing. Still playing. Really good. Yeah. Still playing. But yeah, so that happened. So
dad got paid ultimately.
So there was allegedly the Sunday, to be specific, the Sunday before signing day, NIL went up on Sunday before signing day. NIL went up. So got a nice little NIL package on Sunday before signing day.
I bet I know who this is.
I've told you privately before.
I don't remember the story, so.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
Maybe
I hadn't. I've told a couple people I trust, but I'll tell you after.
Yeah, I'll see if my guess is right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll start doing those from time to time. I'll remove some guys, but I would like to again thank you for the coaching agent, very popular that that gave us that idea, content idea. Thank you. All right. Can't help it. Got to talk about it. Jim Harbaugh gets a 4-year show cause from the NCAA.
That's going to really hurt.
All right, Neal. This is the best way I can describe this. I think I feel good about describing it like this.
I've been telling you for a while, the NCAA is toothless. Everyone's going to have to start understanding that it's over. There are no rules.
It would be like me pissing off my mom today. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like me pissing off my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 46 years old. I'm a 3-time world champ, Neal.
Yep.
As are you. Be like pissing off my mom, and she goes, "Tyler, you're grounded." Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, newsflash, he's never coaching ever again. And so part of never coaching college ever again, he's got an $80 million deal. He's not coming back. He's going to coach the Chargers, and then he's going to go to the beach. All right, so here's my thing. Is like, do you think the NCAA is doing this to try to scare people that they do have teeth or something? Because everybody that has any common sense knows that this is a massive nothing burger.
You just said the words.
Scare, nothing.
Common sense.
Common sense. Oh, thank you.
Jeffrey Wright always says, and he's right, just because somebody has a title doesn't mean they're smart. These people, they did this for themselves. Inside their building, they're like, "We got him."
You think they're fired? You think they're?
I mean, I think they're kind of kidding themselves a little bit, but yeah, they did it for themselves. See, look what we did. You have to understand these types of people. These are very self-righteous people. These are people who think these are people who think they're really, really special. They think they're serving some real purpose. Their time has passed them by. It's over. There are no rules. It's why I do people who go tampering. Every once in a while, a fan will get worked up about tampering. I'm like, you just can't because your team's tampering too. And in this stuff, okay, you hit Jim Harbaugh after he wins his national title and gets the Chargers job.
After his 4-game suspension in the middle of the year.
I mean, he's good. This is like, hey, this is like when you were a little kid and they said you're going to get a spanking and they hit you with a tissue. You're like, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. I mean, this doesn't impact him. He's not coaching college football ever. And if he is ever, it's not in the next 4 years.
No. If he gets fired anytime in the next 4 years, he'll be at the beach for a while.
I mean, yeah, this is stupid, but it's what they do. And it's why the Kentucky thing, the vacating wins. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
What does that even?
Have you ever? Hey, how about this? It's like, who would be the fan base that if Michigan had to vacate its win, like, oh, I mean, do you think Washington's going to be like, oh, we won a national title?
Well, no, it doesn't even work like that. They don't go back and grant victories. They just
take it away.
They just go, the game didn't happen.
No contest.
And you're like, but it did happen. You saw it.
I was there.
And so,
I hate vacating wins.
We're going to make you take the banner off the stadium. Oh, okay.
All right, here's the only thing I'll say, and then this is my one hang up when it comes to punishments, and I think it's yours too. I think we've talked about this before, but whatever you're going to do it, okay? Don't wait 6 years from now and punish people that had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got evidence, which obviously if they're doing show causes, they feel like they have something.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure he's not the only one. But come out and say, hey, this is what we got. You're here, and then be done with it. Get rid of those. But this is a situation in particular. The players don't need to be punished. And so you're going to sit here and you're going to wait 3 or 4 years, Neal. Okay. It's Michigan. They roll through rosters, right? They got a bunch of 3-year guys. So there's some kid right now in 9th grade that's going to sign with Michigan. And in 2029, he's going to show up. And they're going to be on probation and can't go to the playoff because what somebody did in 2023. Like, don't do that. If you're going to do it now. Don't punish people 6 years from now that's in ninth grade right now.
100%.
You know, that's my only hang up.
100%. I mean, but essentially it is a self-policing thing now. I go back to my deal about the roads.
Because if you know why? Because if they self-police, they can't sue us.
Well, but it goes back to the highway. Like if the speed limit is 70 and everybody's kind of going 78 to 82, generally everybody's okay. A little irritated at times, but everybody's pretty much okay, right? It's when the guy goes by 105, 110, weaving in and out of traffic. Everybody's like, "What? You're putting everybody at risk now."
Yep.
We were all cruising right along, and so it's kind of like that. I mean, I think they've been rendered obsolete.
Just holding on for everything.
Like as long as, I mean, they're there maybe in case somebody just does something egregious.
Right.
But I don't know. I think they're done.
All right. Feel like I got to talk about this. I didn't get a chance to listen to your show today, so I don't know if y'all talked about it or not.
Is our show even up yet today? I don't know. I haven't looked.
I've been swamped.
I think it is. We did it early this morning. Jeffrey was on.
All right, so I'm sure you've probably seen on social media the Hoover High School practice video.
I have.
Okay. Did y'all talk about that yet?
No.
Okay. So I feel like, one, I'm from Alabama. I've had a bunch of people reach out, what do you think? All this stuff. I feel like I got a comment on it.
Well, I worked in that area too. I've covered.
Yeah. So
covered some Hoover games. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say this. When it comes to this Hoover practice video, if you haven't seen it, it's everywhere on social media. It's not hard to find. If you're from the Southeast, you probably have seen it. It's an embarrassment to the coaching profession. It's an embarrassment that they would call themselves coaches. Let me tell you why I'm ashamed. I think it's an embarrassment to the coaching profession.
Yeah,
and this is why, Neal, for me, this is how I look at things. It's because when those videos get hit social media, we're crazed with it, right? We're crazed with football. If you're listening to this show, you're crazed with football. But there's a lot of people that aren't listening to this show that see stuff like that on social media, and they think that every coach does stuff like that.
Of course.
I coached in 293 football games. I counted them up like 2 weeks ago. So there's a lot of practices that have happened for 293 football games. I've never even heard of something like this happening. And so it's such an embarrassment.
It's horrible.
To the profession that you would call yourself coach.
Yes. That you would go to a kid that you're coach, that you're entrusted with.
Yeah.
A kid.
Like literally kid, like under 18 kid. It doesn't matter what age, but anybody.
17 years old.
Yeah.
I can relate. I've got a 17-year-old.
He turned 17 years old yesterday, the young man.
17-year-old in my house. And, my son plays high school sports. You have a son that plays high school sports. You understand when you send your kid to school that the coach might get pissed off. The coach might run him. The coach might yell at him. The coach might challenge him. The coach might get pissed off at him, might get irritated with him, might say some words to him. All good. Happens. Part of life. You're going to have bosses that are tough. But when you go rip the helmet off your son's head and throw it and then do this gesticular, gyrating, humiliating. I don't send my kid to play for you to be humiliated. Nope. You want to discipline him? Okay. You want to teach him? You want to teach him that, hey, we have standards? Okay. But you're going to punish him because he didn't make a play, and then on top of that, humiliate him? No. I mean, if that's my son, there's a fight. Yeah. So I'm happy for the family that they've gone the legal way. I've seen some people go, this is why kids are soft, and no, you're wrong. Stop. You don't send. This is not professional sports. I know Hoover thinks that's part of the problem in some of these high schools. They start thinking that it's professional sports. Nah, champ, you're coaching high school kids. Back off. This is a high school kid. He's probably not ever playing in the NFL. He's out there because his friends are playing. He wants to play. A parent wanted him to play. Something's happening, right? You should be teaching him.
Yeah.
You should not be humiliating him in front of his peers.
It's just not I don't know. I've never even heard of something like that. It's just an embarrassment. I'm ashamed. It's an embarrassment to the profession. And again, obviously that, but there's people who don't know about, they think they associate now. So now you say, hey, I coach. Oh, you must, this goes on everywhere. No, it doesn't.
Well, further, what it does for a sport that I think is hurting at that level. I mean, participation's down. It just is.
Yeah.
You let a lot of stuff like this get out, and a lot of parents are like, I'm not putting my kid in those positions.
But yeah, there's lawsuits. And I think the young man's been represented by actually one of these state representatives is a lawyer, I think, representing him. It's bad, man. It's a bad, and it's at the arguably, obviously, Thompson and Central Phoenix City and all those schools have come up recently, but arguably, there's nobody I don't think can argue this. Over the last 20 years, the most premier program in the state of Alabama. So this is not just over the last 20 years, okay, as a collective. I don't think anybody argue that one.
Just can't happen.
Can't happen. All right.
By the way, there's your life advice. What's some life advice?
There you go.
If you're a coach out there, and here's the thing, 99% of high school coaches are great.
Probably 99.9.
But man, if you're coaching, this is the self-policing part. You got to get rid of that 0.1%, whatever it is. They can't hang in your profession because they'll drag you down. They'll kill your sport. There's your life advice presented by Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole Walters, licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him online at colewaltersinsurance.com. It really boil it down to this. If you're touching the kids, you better be cool with how you do it. The
grabbing the face mask and jerking, that went away even when I was playing. You know what I mean? Like you can't 30 years ago.
And then you just can't. You can't humiliate a kid like that. That's wrong.
All right, kind of. I mean, not on the same deal, but a lot of videos coming out also about fights at practice. Okay, so DK was on. I saw this morning, last night late, but DK Metcalf was at the Seahawks practice, got in a fight, yanks the helmet off and slinging helmets, and then I got asked about on a live yesterday about the App State video. I did not see that till this morning, but in the App State video, guy yanked a defensive lineman, yanked the offensive lineman's helmet off and hit him in the head.
Oh my God.
With the helmet that he yanked off. Now, fights happen all the time at practice. I don't know. Here's what I'll say is every place I've ever been at, I don't know if I've ever coached in a preseason camp, like Neal likes to call them, that there wasn't a fight. Okay. And usually multiple fights. Neal, you've covered football forever. You've probably seen them a gazillion times too.
Yes.
With that being said, you can't, you're fully padded. Like the biggest thing you always would tell them is like, look, if fights are going to happen, don't hit somebody with your fist because helmets, you'll break your hand. So it's like nobody ever gets hurt. But once the helmets come off, and we would address that with them, once the helmets come off, it stops. Okay. It stops. And 99.9% of the time it ends right there. It doesn't go to the locker room and all that stuff. But the bigger problem is now when you're doing this stuff in today's climate that we're in, that's got assault charges and all that stuff written all over it. Like I have a bad feeling when you start on some of that stuff that you're going to have when you start taking helmets off and hitting people in the face with a helmet. That's crossing the line a little bit. That wasn't the fight that was being referred to. But fights do happen at every single place I've ever been. Now, I will say this, for whatever reason, fights used to happen a lot more back in the older days, I say like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
As time goes on, the climate has changed a little bit and they don't fight as much, but kind of is what it is.
Almost had a fight there in Paris. Got the U.S. and Serbia. Serbia right now putting it to the U.S. team. LeBron's upset at Bogdanovic.
They'll be all right. Is this live?
Yeah, it's live. Because it's 10 o'clock, 10:39 in Paris.
It's late. All right, Neal, 2 critical injuries. We talk about it. They happen all the time this time of year. But there are 2 critical injuries that I don't think can be ignored and just passed off as, they happen. First one is C.J. Baxter at Texas. Tears his LCL, PCL in his right knee and is out for the season. Arguably, probably the first running back off the board in the NFL draft next year.
Yeah.
And when you're Texas and you have national title, conference and national title aspirations, losing a first-round running back is going to affect you.
Of course.
And so that you can't ignore it. It's not just like, hey, we just lost the DB and we got 7 more to go in there. This is when you're losing first-round players, it's going to affect your team. They got good dudes behind them, but again, you can't.
Sure, but now the second guy's the first guy, and the third guy's the second guy.
And then
It's
depth matters
issues. Yeah,
in
of
a
course.
16, 17 game season.
And in this era of college football, it's harder and harder to collect depth because guys leaving the portal.
So that's going to be an issue for them moving forward. May even change my predictions based off that because he was kind of one I was leaning on. And then Notre Dame left tackle Charles Jog, how you pronounce his name. I looked it up. I'm starting to turn into like a media guy. It's Jogusaw, not Jag. It's Jogusaw.
Okay.
He's their left tackle. He was a projected first-round pick. He was by far their best player. He was arguably he would have been one of the top offensive linemen off the board this next year. Tore his pec, and now he is out for the season. And that is a big deal for Notre Dame, especially when they got to go line up against Texas A&M here in about 20. How many days we got? 18 days? Would you say 22 days? 23 days?
23 days.
23 days.
Yeah, the teams that don't have week 0. So 2 SEC teams, Missouri and Arkansas, play 3 weeks from today. Everybody else plays 3 weeks and 2 days from today.
Gotcha.
23 days.
So yeah, but that's a big deal for them. So they open up at Texas A&M. So start a new left tackle in Texas at College Station with a noise will probably be an issue for the Fighting Irish.
Well, I mean, I can go ahead and tell you that's one of my big upset picks early.
Okay. I wouldn't call that an upset. I think I'm picking it as well.
I like the Aggies in that one.
I do too. I got some upset alerts coming up.
Yeah.
Make It Rain is coming.
Yeah.
I've already got some hey, Georgia Tech. Watch out for the Ramblin' Wreck.
Heard some people.
Watch out for North Dakota State. Hey, we got a guest that's over there that's hibernating right now.
Yeah.
He might be making an appearance here in a few weeks. He's over there hibernating. He's been off for the off season, but he's over there. Yeah. He's over there.
Leo the Lion's guarding him.
He's guarding him. He's protecting him. He may be coming out here in a few weeks. All right, Neal, we got NFL preseason on tonight. I know you're excited.
So excited.
Can't
wait.
We got the Panthers and the Patriots.
Whew, been counting down the minutes.
But here's what you do: you get to see Bryce Young. They're going to play, I think.
Yeah.
And, you get to see Drake May, Joe Milton. You get to see young quarterbacks in first action, probably. Get a little time there, and you got the Lions and the Giants. They're not on TV. I don't even know if it's streaming.
I don't think it is.
So it will probably be on NFL Network late at night on a replay or something. Usually how those goes. But here's my deal. All right. Last week, we talked about I was all giddy about the NFL kickoff rule. Yeah. I was going to watch every snap, and I did, Neal. Okay.
That was a rain-shortened game.
The rain-shortened game. It was ended whatever in third quarter, whenever it ended. What an embarrassment to the game of football that play is now existing. Like, I would, if I worked, I'm not even joking, if I worked in the NFL, after Thursday, I would have gone straight back to New York and said, hey, guys, we need to meet. All right, well, here's the problem. And I know you know the rules. We've gone all over all that stuff. And
I really don't know the rules. Everyone's explained them to me. I don't get it. I'm going to have to watch it, but I don't really. I
know you're a visual guy, right?
Yeah. I think they have created an issue that they didn't. Nobody really cared that the kicker just kicked the damn ball out of the end zone.
I'm going to common sense this to you. Okay?
It was actually something that you could plan on. Like, okay, they're going to kick it off. Then they're going to have a timeout. I've got 3-4 minutes here. I'm going to go use the restroom.
Messing up your cooking time on Sunday afternoon, Neal.
I'm going to find a beer.
You're messing with your Blackstone time.
Hey, I'm going to go down and flip the wings on the big green egg. I got 3.5 minutes right here where I'm not going to miss anything. It's all good.
They messed with your Sunday afternoon routine.
And now you're adding something to it that everybody goes, wait, what? And so you know what else is? It doesn't look like the NFL. It looks like some arena league on steroids. And I don't think people like that. Like, one of the things people like me who like the NFL a lot, I don't even really have a team. Like, I'm kind of a Bengals fan. I like the Bears, but I don't.
You like good players.
Yeah, but
like watching talent.
But what I like about the NFL is a number of things. I know that the NFL schedule I can plan my Sunday. Sunday's a work day for me.
Blackstone time's real for you.
Sunday, it is. Sunday's a real day for me.
It's a mental health day.
It is. No, it is.
It really is.
It is. And so I know I can come up here on a Sunday morning to do 10 thoughts.
Yep.
Okay? I mean, totally serious.
Yeah, I know. I know you are. I'm just laughing.
I can turn on like English Premier League at about 9 o'clock, and I can get rolling on 10 thoughts. And I know at noon, a bunch of games are going to kick off. And they're going to end at 3:05. That's what time they're going to end. Then one game's going to start at 3:05. Or actually, two games are going to start at 3:05, and they're going to put a marquee game at 3:25. And when that ends, the NBC pregame show will be going on, and at 7-something, they'll have the Sunday night game of the week.
And don't forget my Carrie Underwood song.
And there's your song. And by about my goal is by the time halftime comes of the first games, I'm getting close to done. I'm kind of closing in on done. And then I know I can go down. I can watch the rest of the first games. I can watch the 3:25 game. I can watch the 7 o'clock game. I can grill. I can whatever, right? Don't mess with it. I like the way the uniforms look. Everybody's got good uniforms. It has a flow to it. Yeah. Don't screw it up. It's number one. It's not broken. Everybody watches it. I don't even have a fantasy team. Why do I need? And I don't want my kicker having to go. What's our kicker's name in Cincinnati? McPherson. I don't want him tackling somebody.
He's not. He won't.
Just kick the ball out of the damn end zone. Take your TV time out. Let's do a Viagra commercial. Let's do a Bud Light commercial. And then let's come back 1st and 10 at the 25 and let's play. I'm good with it.
All right. I'm going. Let me explain.
Like GJG says NFL Sunday is perfect. He's right. Even on a day when the NFL games are kind of blah, it just flows.
All right, if you did not watch all right, so Neal, I'm going to give you a visual here. I'm going to bring it because I know you're a visual guy. No one knew the rules, okay? So this is where we jumped the shark a little bit. So you probably do know this part is that nobody can move until the returner catches the ball, all right?
Okay.
So the players are lined up 5 yards apart, okay? So Imagine putting 10 people that are on the kick team lined up looking at the returner, and then you got sometimes 9 or 10 players on the receiving team. They're lined up 5 yards from your guy.
Okay.
But they're not looking at their guy. Every one of them, watch it tonight. It's embarrassing. They're all turned around, and they're looking this way until the guy catches the ball. When he catches the ball, this happened every fucking kickoff, by the way. They catch it, and they would turn around and try to find their guy. They're 5 yards apart, Neal, and they're professional football players. What do you think happened when they were looking in the other direction and turned around? They were by them.
Yeah.
They wasn't touching anybody. And the returner was getting the shit knocked out of him. It looked like one dude taking on 10. You had with 10 guys with 25-yard running head starts with no blocking.
See, I could have saved everybody a lot of money.
It was more dangerous for the returner in that one than the other one.
I could have saved everybody a lot of money as hand-raised guys. I would have just gone. When they called me, they said, Mr. McCready, I would have said, why?
Now,
why?
I'm going to tell you something that's really going to blow your mind. And this wasn't discussed in the rules. And I officially threw my remote up in the air, and I turned it off. I threw my remote across the TV and then turned it off on the back. Neal, they are allowing 12 men on the field for the kicking team. There is a holder that will go hold the ball like a field goal for the kicker. Once he kicks it, he has to run off the field.
Stupid.
So he's kicking the ball. There's a live play where the 12th guy's running off the field. And then one of the teams has a kicker, who kickers are goofy sometimes. And as he's running off the field, he's going, it was the National Football League allowed 12 people on the field in a play.
You're doing something that like they would do in the WWE football.
It sounds like a WNBA halftime special.
I mean, what was the league that they did the spring league a couple years ago?
You got the UFL,
the XFL.
XFL.
It's kind of
what it's from, but the holding part was
stupid.
12 people on the field, Neal.
Let's go back to what it was.
All right. Moving on. Last couple things, and we're out. Got 2 more things, and we're out of here. The Brandon Aiyuk situation with the 49ers.
Yep.
It seems like every hour upon hour, there's a new trade rumor of him going to Steelers, the Browns, wherever. And it's like every day. So the people understand why and what's going on. The 49ers picked up their 5th-year option, and he's still on his rookie deal. They picked up the club option for the 5th year. And so this year he's making $14.1 million. Okay, well, Brandon had his best year of his career last year. And so he's seeing all these players getting paid, and he wants to get his. And the 49ers aren't going to pay him. They're going to pay Debo first. And then they got this guy named Brock Purdy, Neal. Okay? Brock Purdy is in the 3rd year of his rookie deal. Brock Purdy this year, do you know how much money he's making this year, by the way? Brock Purdy, the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
He's still on the rookie minimum, right?
He's making $985,000 this year.
Oh, wow.
Okay. His market value through Spot Track, the contract website.
It's probably in the 20-something millions.
His
right?
roster, his market value is $52.1 million.
You are kidding.
No. Because of
that's like when you have NBA guys on their rookie scale deal,
yes.
and you have all sorts of cap flexibility. That's your window to compete right there.
Right. So he's getting paid $980 with the new contracts because they update it based on where he ranks versus where the contracts are and all that stuff. And all these quarterbacks are getting paid now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now they were saying his market value is $52.1 million a year, but the 49ers are paying him $985,000. So they know they have to pay him soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably next year.
It's kind of like where the Bengals were with Burrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they got to pay him. Well, they also got Bosa. They got Debo. They got all these guys. They're a loaded roster, right?
Yeah, they're going to want to get paid too.
They got McCaffrey. They got a bunch of dudes. They can't pay everybody, and so they're going. They would trade him, but they're not going to get much for him because it's going to be a rental. Okay, but it's kind of messed up on. I kind of blame Aiyuk here. Like he's going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. He would have a great statistical year with 49ers. Knows the system. Camp's already started everywhere else. He knows the system. He would go in. He's got help around him.
I'm sure he's thinking, hey, I could get hurt here. And
I understand.
Yeah.
But, dude, if he goes right now and gets – nobody's going to pay him $40 million to go be their receiver right now.
Right.
But if he goes unrestricted free agent, they may, and has another great year because he's in his prime. So it's a bad deal all around for everybody. All right, Neal, we're going to close up with this. Neal, we got to start thinking. We're going to put this out in the ethos.
Okay.
We're going to have a little discussion with the Cooper Chevrolet chat here. So we need some participation here. We're coming up, Neal, on punishment ideas for either Neal or myself for whoever loses the competition of betting competition. So for we got a lot of new listeners. TikTok, y'all been great. We got a lot of new TikTok people have come over and listen. This is what we do. Neal and I bet every single week. We have a competition where we bet 5 college games and 5 NFL games.
Against the spread.
Right. Then we bet 1 college game. So college, we actually have 6. We bet 1 college game where we have to take an underdog money line. So we have to find 1 underdog, which we think will win outright. Now, we're not cute with it. Everything's 1 unit except for the money line. So if Neal hits Georgia Tech over Florida State for plus 250, he gets plus 2.5 units. The loser has a punishment at the end of the year. And right now, this is going into year 3. How about that, year 3?
Yeah.
Neal lost the first year, and we went to the Boise, Idaho, famous Idaho Potato Bowl, and Neal didn't wear a jacket. It was nice and chilly that day.
And you were sick that day.
I had the Chinese flu.
You did.
I had the Wuhan flu that I learned later on.
Yeah, you had COVID.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got on a plane maskless and spread COVID all over that.
That is not true. I was triple masked. And boosted. I got the booster from the flight attendant.
Yeah, I was boosting you. I just was giving you shots.
I'm just waiting for strikes to come up everywhere. I was peeking. I'm just looking for red lines to start going across the screens.
I'm very sorry. Anthony Fauci's an American hero.
Hey, Neal, it's probably a good time to let everybody know, especially our new listeners. This episode is brought to you by the what's my new guy's name?
We're still brought to you by the Biden-Harris administration.
We're still brought to you by the Biden-Harris administration,
but
because Joe doesn't know it's over yet.
We would love to encourage you.
Strike 3. We're out of here. Joe doesn't know he's not on the ticket.
We will be raising money here soon for the Harris. What's his name?
I don't even know.
When was the last time you shook your wife's hand?
I shook my wife's hand?
Yeah, when was the last time you shook your wife's hand?
I don't think I've ever shaken my wife's hand.
You greet your wife in a public setting. Do you shake her hand ever? Does that even cross your mind?
No. That's what he does?
He on the campaign stage at their introductory thing, and I guess it was in Philadelphia, he shook her hand.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
And I was like, wait, what? Whoa.
It's hard. Hey, look. Hey.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just asking.
Bonus life advice brought to you by Cole Walters State Farm. If you are in the custom of shaking your wife's hand, you're probably a 0-time world champ.
I mean,
if you would like to be a world champ one day, you probably don't need to shake your wife's hand.
I just yeah. Interesting. It was an interesting thing.
I didn't know that. That's great. All right. Anyway, so
I mean, I've asked some of my Midwestern friends, is that a thing? Is that something you guys do?
I've never even heard. He shook his wife's hand. Really?
Yeah, he shook her hand.
I did. Somebody. All right. So I was obviously out of touch for a little bit. I didn't know that he had been named or whatever. And somebody kept saying his name. What's his name? I don't even know his name.
Tim.
Is it Walls?
Walls.
Walls.
W-A-L-Z.
And you had a Z in it. That he used to be a football coach or something.
Yeah, he was a football coach.
And somebody asked me in a live. Somebody asked me.
Won a state championship apparently.
Somebody said he had some kind of great defense. I said, I bet he wouldn't have brought that damn Minnesota 4-4 down to St. Paul's in Mobile, Alabama. We ran up about 900 on that ass. But anyway, we got to get with the punishment. So let's talk about. I got some punishment ideas. I would like to run them by you.
All right.
So I'm going to see where you're at. Okay. I got 2 retreads that I think would be awesome for the show. And Neal, we're crushing on TikTok.
I understand.
All right.
I'm going to forewarn you. It has been. Tomorrow I'm planning to do a 60-minute run for the first time in more than a year.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything where I'm having to run from something and cut and tear up my knee. No joke. The knee surgery. Reeves is awesome. Reeves Moore, great dude. Those 6 weeks where I couldn't do things were miserable.
So you're saying running from the police dogs is out?
Is out. Totally out.
For the show.
It's not worth the risk.
What if we put you on a bike?
No. 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 I gained, and you know me, I'm pretty careful about what I eat. I still gained 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Trying to come back from it. I mean, I can't, if I see food, I gain weight from looking at it. So that's made me miserable. So I've been like, no. So anything that involves
all right,
health risk.
Chasing dogs is out.
Yes, not doing it.
And I'll let you get what you want to get with me. All right. So, all right, what about this? I'm going to retread this one because this has always been a good one. What about the 5-gallon bucket of the Duke's mayonnaise over the head dumping with you?
You're going to dump it on my head?
Like the bowl game. No. You know, like the dumping over the head, like they do in the bowl game?
I mean, sure.
Okay, we got to Neal, I lose a bet. I was wrong. Somebody said we got to get something with Neal with mayonnaise. And I said, look, y'all are wasting your time, but I will bring it up. I said, I'll bring it up. But Neal would rather kiss a snake in the mouth than.
No.
All right, so that was my next one. I spoiled
snakes.
it. So what if we get a snake trainer that has one of those giant pythons and he's there and we let the python wrap around you? No?
No.
So, but you will do. I can put down mayo as a possibility.
I'm deathly afraid of snakes.
So the mayo bath is a possibility.
Okay.
All right. We're done with snakes. No snakes.
No snakes.
No dog chasing.
No. Because I have this thing where I try to cut, trying to get away from the dog something.
I'm good.
And then there goes my knee, and I'm mentally effed.
All right. What about this one?
I mean, I was like the 6th week of that, I was mentally fucked.
Okay.
I was miserable.
All right. What about this one? This goes back to an old. Did you ever watch Jackass? Like when it first came out.
It wasn't my jam, but yeah.
When it first came out on MTV.
Sure, I've seen
my
it.
favorite Jackass segment. Well, my second favorite. My first one is golf course air horn. That's we're going to do. We got 2 Jackass things I would like to do with you. Okay, here we go. First one would be to get you some camo. Okay, get you some camo, and like a ghillie suit, not even camo, like a true ghillie suit.
I don't know what that is.
That's like the sniper stuff that they hide in the woods and nobody can see you.
Okay.
That has the foliage and stuff on it.
Okay.
All right. And we film it. We get a GoPro. We'll film it, and we'll have you in the woods. We can go down here to the country club. I know a guy, and you sit in the foliage, and every time somebody goes to tee off, you blow the air horn when they go golf course air horn, and just see how pissed off we can make people for like a period of time. Like on a Saturday when everybody's golfing, a beautiful day. What do you think?
I mean, people would see the cameras and stuff, but I mean, that's funny.
We'll figure that out. What about that one? Is that a possibility?
Sure.
Golf course air horn. All right. My other Jackass one that I've been thinking about this for a while, if you can't tell. All right. So my other one was, we probably know some guys. Okay. This would have to wait until spring practice for football. Okay.
Okay.
And we dress you up full gear. Okay. You're full gear.
Okay.
And we shoot a punt to you, and there's no running involved. It's literally catching.
Okay.
All right. But there's no blockers on the punt team, and they can come just knock the shit out of you in full gear.
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because I could get hurt.
No, you wouldn't. It just hurt
Getting
for a minute.
tackled?
It just hurt for a second.
No.
It wouldn't tear anything.
On a college football player? No, dude.
It doesn't hurt when you get hit hard, though.
I played football. I understand. I'm 50. I'll be 55 then. Nope.
You wouldn't do that for the show?
No. Nope. I mean, I love you, but I don't love you that much.
So we got mayonnaise.
Getting hurt is not an option.
I don't think you get hurt, though.
Oh, I think I could get bad hurt.
Full giddy up. No targeting.
Yeah.
No targeting.
Well, of course not. But yeah, no, I could easily get hurt.
Just all in this area.
Oh, you could.
We'll put rib protector on.
Dude, you could absolutely get hurt. No doubt in my mind. And then what? Now you break ribs or something.
Just one rep.
No, I don't want one rep. That's all it would take.
Hey, you're good once as you ever were.
No, I'm not. No, not in any way. No, I'm not.
I love it. All right, what do you got for me? What
I hadn't even thought about it yet.
I know Laura's been cooking up something.
We have not talked about this. I don't know.
Because Laura was not happy about the Alaskan trip. So she sounded like she was ready to go.
I think she found it funny by the end.
At the beginning, she wasn't happy though.
Well, she was irritated.
All right, so so we got Mayo bath and golf course air horn. All right.
Yeah, no, I think I could get hurt getting hit by a college football player.
All right. What about